In this session, I want to show you how authentication and authorization of syncing Automerge document works in Automerge Jumpstart. So what we have here is we initialize an Automerge repo. It's in utils in the frontend app. And what we do here is we instantiate a browser WebSocket client adapter. And with this, we use a sync server URL, which then is passed into the new repo. But what's interesting here is that we append a query parameter with the session key here. And if you have a token-based system, this is a very common way how to authenticate with WebSockets. This is exactly what we do here. And that's basically it for the syncing. So now that we have this session key established, we need to work with it in the backend. And what we're going to do there is, first of all, we basically when a client connects, we need to handle the upgrade. And how we do this is we here can pass this query parameter, we get out the session key, and then we check. If it's not, we return early. We basically let the user know or let the client know that it's not authorized without a session key. And then we try to get the active session from the login and from our database. And if the session doesn't exist, it's also unauthorized. If it works, we do something that's probably not very common, but we basically eject it into the current socket. And this current socket is passed on. And this is exactly where we can read it out later. And this is very, very useful. Because if we now go to our Automerge repo, we have a custom auth adapter, and which gets passed in the WebSocket server. And here in our auth adapter, actually the magic happens. Because what we're checking for is, first of all, if it's a message, so we have here receive message, and then we get the message bytes. And we can decode this message. And first of all, we want to only, in this case, authorize for messages. So the authentication part is already done, but now we care about authorization. If you try to sync a document, does the user have actually access? And as mentioned before, we can access from our socket. We injected our session there. So we can now have socket.session and get out the session and with the user ID. And then we have our document ID from the message. And with this, we have all the parts to basically check, has the user access to this document? And if the user doesn't, we can just return and not pass continue with the sync message, and the user will not get any result returned. In addition, we do a check for invalid awareness messages. So we can check if it's of type awareness, and if the user ID doesn't actually match the user ID from the current session, then basically this will happen if a user would try to send an ephemeral message as another user. We try to block this as well. And with this, all the necessary authorization to basically build a SaaS-like product where we have authentication authorization handled by the server, is basically done and handled. And if this message is not blocked, you basically continue with just calling the parents receive message, and Automerge can simply proceed in syncing. I hope this was insightful, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much.